You think about that level of vulnerability. When you have one nation that really holds the keys to so much of this. We've heard that many of the resources are actually located there, but even if they're not located there, if they are from other countries, even if they're from the United States, where are we sending this to be refined, to be reprocessed? It's going all back to China. We have what we believe to be a very interesting prospect for critical minerals and rare earths in Alaska, and we'd like to try to figure out how we can move forward with it, but part of the problem is, do we want to be accessing that in Alaska only to send that to China, only to be vulnerable to them for the return when it comes back in a reprocessed state? So this is exactly why we need to be having this conversation, is the vulnerability that we have as a nation now, and what we can do about it. So,
Madam Chair, I just was handed a news piece. Lithium-ion batteries are among the list of about $300 billion worth of Chinese goods upon which the Trump administration plans to levy tariffs. Of concern.
Mm-hmm. Should be of concern to all of us. Yeah. This is real time for us right now. So I want to ask you, Dr. Warner. You had raised the issue when we're talking about the supply chain here, and you call it an Asia-centric supply chain. Seems to me that perhaps we don't have to own the whole supply chain there, but we need to have some piece of it. We need to be intervening in some way. Is there some focus on a particular part of the supply chain for batteries that you think would be more important than others, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Senator. That's a wonderful question. I think that the processing of the materials, as we look globally, there's materials in many places other than China as well as we've got here. So I think the processing of them is actually an area of key importance. If I can give you one short example, there's some work going on right now with several companies working on a process called atomic layer deposition. And this is a process by which they're actually able to layer single atoms onto molecules that we use in lithium-ion batteries, which promotes longer life, better energy density, and better performance. And the only reason they're able to do that is because they're partnering with the processing people, understanding how the materials are coming out and how they're making that. So if we can delve deeper into that manufacturing and processing of those minerals here, that will certainly help ensure those future technologies coming forward. Mm-hmm. And then I'm a proponent always of the cell manufacturing. I think as we look at our armed services and the lithium-ion cells used in much of the military, the space programs, most of those cells are coming from foreign sources right now. Mm-hmm. So that does put us at some strategic disadvantage. So being able to build cells here and packs here to support those applications is vital, I think, to our security.
Let me go back to you, Secretary Belash, and when I mentioned just an inventory and understanding, we also know that many of the minerals that we are consuming are not mined independently, that they're produced in conjunction with other minerals. We got a large copper mine in Utah that also produces molybdenum and rhenium as byproducts. I'm assuming that it is relatively common that we have this co-production in these mineral deposits, that if you're going for say, for instance, copper, there are other elements that we know to be co-located with these minerals, right?
Yes, Madam Chair, that is absolutely correct.
And so is it economic or even realistic to produce some critical minerals on their own?
In some cases, it's not economically feasible. The process of what is typically hard rock mining involves moving efficiently a large body of ore, crushing it, milling it, and refining it. Ultimately, those economics rest on the base or primary material or product that comes out. All on their own, the additional supplies of whether it's platinum metals groups or some of the other moly products, byproducts, those economics wouldn't stand on their own without the underlying recovery of whether it's copper, gold, or silver.
So let me ask, Mr. Evans, are there other minerals that could be produced from your lithium product?
There are other chemical compounds, yes, Senator.
And are you working to access them?
Yes, as part of the chemical processing that we do, the byproducts, if you will, we're looking for, well, there are already markets for those. Actually, there's two byproducts, and even our tailings, as I mentioned to Senator King, we're looking at actually uses for that as well, because it's not toxic at all, and it looks like there might be some construction uses for that.